A mother's life cut short, the shocking story behind the perfect neighbor asterisk. What happens when a tight-knit community is torn apart by a senseless act of violence? This is the haunting question at the heart of The Perfect Neighbor, a documentary that delves into the tragic killing of Ajike AJ Owens, a beloved mother of four, by her neighbor Susan Lorincz in Ocala, Florida. But here's where it gets controversial. The film doesn't just tell a story, it challenges us to confront the systemic issues that allowed this tragedy to unfold. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about one incident, it's about the broader implications of laws like Florida's Stand Your Ground policy, which disproportionately affect Black communities. For filmmakers and life partners Geeter Ganber and Nikon Kwantu, along with producer Elisa Payne, this project felt almost fated. Long before they collaborated professionally, their paths crossed as parents whose children attended the same preschool. Each brought their own unique storytelling expertise to the table. Payne, known for powerful documentaries like the Emmy and NAACP Image Award, nominated stamped from the beginning. Kwantu, with 2 decades of experience in multimedia, film, and animation production, and Ganber, a director mentored by industry giants Sam Pollard and Spike Lee, with whom she collaborated on When the Levees Broke, a Requiem in 4 acts, earning her first Emmy Award. United by their passion for uncovering unseen perspectives, their latest project was born out of tragedy, a tragedy that hit close to home. In June 2023, Kwantu's relative Takima Robinson, a social justice activist, reached out to him and Ganber about the devastating killing of Ajike Owens, a family friend and cherished mother. Owens was fatally shot by her neighbor, Susan Lorincz, over a seemingly trivial dispute involving children playing in a field near Lorincz's home. This crime left us engulfed in grief and confusion, Ganber recalls. Ajike's community was built on mutual support and trust, making it even more heartbreaking to see it unravel so catastrophically. The trio soon traveled to Florida, determined to support Owens's family and raise awareness about the senseless killing, especially since Lorincz was not immediately arrested by local law enforcement. The Perfect Neighbor is one of those films we wish we didn't have to make, Payne reflects. Yet, despite its painful subject matter, the documentary is a testament to Ganber's masterful storytelling. Pamela Diaz, Ajike Owens's mother, praises the film's precision and depth. Geeter peeled back every layer of our story with care. It was a masterpiece. Diaz supported the film from its earliest stages, driven by a desire to honor her daughter's life and turn grief into purpose. I'm carrying on her spirit, she says. Through the film and the Standing in the Gap Fund, a family-led initiative addressing race-based violence, Diaz hopes to raise awareness about the need for empathy and community healing. It's advocating for more compassion in the world, something we desperately need in these dark times, she adds. What unfolds in the documentary? Directed by Ganber and produced by Kwantu, Payne, and Sam Bisbee, The Perfect Neighbor is told almost entirely through police body camera footage, offering an intimate look at a neighborhood that once thrived on unity. The neighbors genuinely cared for one another, Diaz reflects. Family was the cornerstone of this community, making it a unique place to live. However, tensions arose when the children's play occasionally spilled into a vacant lot next to Lorincz's home, a stark contrast to the warmth of the surrounding residents. Susan was an outlier in this community, Kwantu notes. She'd call the police at the slightest conflict. Over the years, Lorincz's calls to law enforcement became increasingly frequent, though officers initially sided with the children and their families. Her aggression toward her neighbors escalated, culminating in the catastrophic shooting of Owens. The film is an innovative exploration of how prejudice can poison even the closest communities. This intimate narrative is crafted from hours of body camera footage and audio recordings, obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request by Owens's family attorneys. You're watching something go from normal to, wait, where's this going? Kwantu explains. When I saw the footage, I knew this was the film. Approaching Diaz about the documentary was a delicate process. I asked her if this was something she'd want to pursue, Ganber recalls. She said yes, and I think the trust was built along the way, as we worked together to seek justice for Ajike. For Diaz, the prospect of the film offered a glimmer of hope amidst her grief. It gave my heart a sense of comfort, she says. I had something to hold onto other than grief. Ganber's commitment to the family's comfort and consent was unwavering. She was always in constant communication, Diaz emphasizes. She wanted to know how we were doing and if I was comfortable moving forward. I had complete trust in her to handle our story with sensitivity and care. The setting and the laws in question. The documentary is set in Ocala, Florida, a city less than 2 hours from Sanford, where the 2012 killing of Trayvon Martin brought Florida's stand your ground lore into sharp focus. This lore allows individuals to use deadly force if they feel threatened, even if they could retreat to safety. Such laws now exist in over half of U.S. states but have faced intense scrutiny for disproportionately affecting black people. Owens's killing reignited national debates about these problematic policies. Hopefully, through Ajike's legacy, we can fight stand your ground and other harmful policies, Payne says. It was clear that on the other side of Susan's calls were great people, parents raising their children. Who was Ajike Owens? Ajike Owens was a devoted mother of 4 and a cherished family friend. The film celebrates her life through family testimony, photos, and everyday scenes that highlight her role as a protective parent. When her children faced disputes with Lorincz, Owens intervened, embodying the warmth and spirit that defined her. The Perfect Neighbor is, at its core, a tribute to a vibrant, caring mother. My daughter always said the world would know her name, Diaz says. And the perfect neighbor has made her word come true. Her legacy lives on. The film's approach to the tragedy. The documentary does not show the moment Owens was shot. Instead, it reconstructs the events before and after through interviews, 911 audio, and police body camera footage. Viewers witness the neighborhood's environment, hear urgent calls for help, and see the emergency response. For Diaz, the first screening was both devastating and a testament to the filmmaker's care. I sobbed uncontrollably, she recalls. But even in that pain, Geeter's craft was unmistakable. What happened to Susan Lorincz? The documentary begins in the fall of 2022, with Lorincz repeatedly calling the police to complain about children playing noisily near her home. These calls escalated until June 2, 2023, when Lorincz reported that Owens was attempting to break down her door and threatening her life. 2 minutes later, she called back to report she had shot Owens through the door. Despite emergency responders' efforts, Owens was pronounced dead at a hospital. Lorincz's arrest was delayed as authorities investigated whether her actions aligned with Florida's stand your ground law, sparking community outrage. Lorincz was eventually arrested on June 6, 2023, and charged with manslaughter, culpable negligence, battery, and assault. In 2024, she was found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 25 years in prison. The film's impact and legacy. The Perfect Neighbor premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, where Ganber won the U.S. Documentary Directing Award. Now, the filmmakers aim to reach a wider audience, urging viewers to confront the attitudes and policies that perpetuate such tragedies. I hope to inspire a deeper understanding of these laws' consequences, Ganber says. We need changes to prevent more senseless tragedies. Diaz hopes the film will help audiences grasp their bigger, broader picture and carry AJ's legacy forward. I want her memory to inspire positive change, she says. Her legacy must live on. A question for you. As we reflect on the Perfect Neighbor, it's impossible to ignore the role of laws like stand your ground in perpetuating violence. Do these policies truly protect individuals, or do they enable tragic outcomes? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a conversation that could lead to meaningful change.